Thanks for the support as a channel member, Nick Lemon. Boys and girls, if all goes to plan today, it should be a double cartwheel day. We should be celebrating winning the Central Premier Division and, fingers crossed, also celebrating winning the US FA Vase. And that, after 3 miserable years, or 2 miserable years, will be a very, very good season. Hello and welcome to part 36 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have at least one game in the league, plus the US FA Vase final as well. Since you were last with me, oh, they've just swapped around. That's hideous. Since you were last with me, I don't even remember what you last saw. Carolina, I think it was, wasn't it? And Inter United. So we then proceeded to lose against the Houston Dutch Lions in our next game in the league. So there's 3 Central Premier League games remaining. We're 6 points clear of Carolina with a much better goal difference. So if we win this match today and they don't, we definitely win the league. If anything else happens, we might have to play one more game in the league and then we'll show you the cup game as well as we try to make it a double. But fingers crossed, we beat Charlottesville while Carolina don't win their game and we'll have things wrapped up at our place. We don't want to win the league all the way away in Texas. How on earth are we going to get the trophy back to Massachusetts? So this is the team we're putting out there to try and beat Charlottesville and wrap things up today. We've got Buckner in goal, a back four of Nice, Sullivan, Brook and Perkins. Perkins? Who the hell's Manny Perkins, I hear you cry? He's another one who's come through the youth system. We've picked up an injury, a suspension to Travis Cullen. So we just drafted a right back in from the youth team. It's all we can do. There's no one else at the club who can play right back. And he's not actually terrible. And he might actually end up quite good. He's only 17. In the first season, he'd have been a regular starter all the way through. Jeff Brook, who's only a few years older than him. What's Jeff Brook, 20 now? 19? Jeff Brook's played regularly since he was that age. And he's been awesome. So you never know. Perkins might turn out okay. Goncalves and Booth in midfield. And then Williams and Huyan supporting Stone and Jorge Hernandez up front. Let's get started. Let's hopefully pick up a victory, and we're going to keep a very close eye on the Carolina game as well in the hopes that they drop some points. So we owe Charlottesville after the last time we played them. Carolina are at home against New Amsterdam, who are down in 10th place. So you would think it would be a relatively easy game for Carolina as well. I mean, with the goal difference that we've got, we're as good as champions if we win today. It's very unlikely that Carolina turn around a 30 goal difference advantage, but it won't be mathematically secure unless they drop points as well. But none of it matters if we don't win today. We must win this game, and we could conceivably be having a massive 4-match episode. In fact, we probably won't, because I did that on the home series the other day and I can't make a habit of doing that. So if we still haven't won the league after the first 2 matches, we'll probably cut it in 2 and come back tomorrow for the final league game and the cup final. But Huyan doesn't like the idea of splitting it into 2 episodes and has decided to open the scoring. 10 minutes gone. It's Bourne 1, Charlottesville 0. Huyan, the smallest man on the pitch, there with a thunderous header at the far post following the cross from Hernandez. He's beaten a player to get there as well. It's not like he's unmarked getting on that with a header. He's leapt like a salmon over whoever that was playing at left back for Charlottesville and puts us 1-0 up, and Carolina have just scored in their game as well, just to take the fun out of everything. I mean, they're spoilers, aren't they? Spoily old rascals at Carolina. Right, Goncalves in midfield, playing it out to Huyan on the right again. This time, he has loads of space to charge into. Slots it through nicely to Stone, and Stone can't quite keep his shot on the right side of the post. Or his error was it was on the right-hand side of the post, which unfortunately isn't the side the net is on. Hernandez with the in-swinging corner. Sullivan got to it, but didn't seem to make a connection, actually. It's a shove on Sullivan, which is why he didn't make a full connection. We've got a penalty. It's going to be Stone to take. Stephen Stone makes it 2-0, and he must be closing in on 30 goals for the year now. 26th goal of the season for Stephen Stone, who just a few episodes ago, I think I described as a solid 15, 20 goal a season support striker who's having an incredible season, and he's still very young himself as well. Jorge Hernandez with the in-swinging free kick Huyan's finish is disallowed for offside. And really, Huyan has been here long enough to know better than to be just stood there offside from the free kick. You shouldn't ever be offside from a free kick like that, you numbskull. Carolina are 2-0 up, so it doesn't look like it's going to be fully settled today. Sullivan with another header from another corner in this one goes over without any help from a shove. And Williams with an in-swinging free kick from the other side. It's punched clear, and now Charlottesville have got the chance for a break. Goncalves has done a very good job of just stopping it in its tracks. And Perkins, I think that was, returned it to Huyan, who beats his man, charges towards the area, finds Williams. Williams to Stone. Stone with the shot, and it's 3-0. It's 27 for the season for him. Jorge Hernandez has been noticeable by his absence so far today, despite getting a 7.6. I think that's just because of set-piece delivery. We've not seen anything of Hernandez, but Stephen Stone is having a very good game goals-wise. Grabbed his second. 3-0 now to us. Carolina will probably go 3-0 up as well. It's like it's a goal-scoring weeing contest between the two of us, even though they missed their opportunity to be in this contest when they couldn't beat us. Just let us have the league now. I don't want to have to make this a double episode. Double episodes are silly. We all know it's a foregone conclusion at this point. Just let us wrap it up today, for goodness sake. I want to show people the animation. What I might do is just literally do that and just show the animation. If it ends up like this, what a goal from Hernandez. 46 for the year. That's just silly. But if it ends up with a 6 points clear and 30 or 40 goals clear as well, rather than showing you the whole of the next match, I'll probably just show you the final couple of minutes and the championship presentation, assuming it happens, because it's all there bar the mathematical rubber stamp as it stands at the moment. It is now 3-0 to Carolina, so it looks like it is going to go on into that next game. Hernandez has got himself a free kick and he shoots from range and it goes just wide. An hour gone then, 4-0 to us, 3-0 to Carolina, the party poopers. We've now got to take the trophy. Somehow got to ship a trophy all the way back from Tesco. Tesco? Texas. Yeah, that's the secret. We're getting the trophy from Tesco rather than Texas. The other day we were speculating on whether Texas was a band or a chocolate bar or a DIY store. What we've discovered today is actually all along it was just a misspelt chain of supermarkets in the UK. And now we all know for sure. Goncalves is going to come off for Flores. Booth is going to come off for Briones. And for my final change, I'm going to take off Huyan, I think. Just by virtue of he was the one who was the most tired of the front three who could come off to allow Jackson Hernandez on so that we can go full Hernandez for the final 15 minutes or so. Perkins is tiring, but shouldn't be needed for the rest of the season now. Cullen should be back for the next game, so Perkins can go back down to the under-18s, never to be heard from again. Jorge Hernandez on the right looked like he was fouled there. Certainly fell over like he had been, and I, for one, would never suggest a man with his integrity would engineer a fall to try and get himself another free kick in an area where he knows he can hit one very sweetly from. Buckner makes the save from the Charlottesville attack. 15 minutes to go. They've got a corner. It's still 4-0 to us. It's now 4-0 to Carolina as well, who are definitely seemingly wanting to take this down to the wire. But we're not going to worry about them. It'll be all good. 4-0, still 6 point gap, still 37 goal gap. Means this is, you may as well give us the trophy now. What they should do is just present us with the trophy, and in the unlikely event this all gets turned around, we'll present it back ourselves. We'll travel to wherever Carolina are and deliver it to them with our love and affection. Ball forward for the Charlottesville attacker. It's a decent effort that manages to make it over Buckner, but that's largely because it was also going over the goal, and it's easy to beat the goalkeeper if you don't have to be constrained by hitting within the confines of the posts and the crossbar. Right, let's just double check that we haven't been awarded the title prematurely. It'd be nice if we did. We haven't. Okay, what I'm going to do then, because it is all but guaranteed at this point, I'm not going to make you sit through another game of us just scoring lots of goals against the team we're better than. So we'll come back for the final couple of minutes of the next game. assuming all is going well. We might yet be back for the final day of the season if it starts to get a little bit hairy, but I don't think it's getting hairy. I think this is getting wrapped up soon, and then we still have the FA Vars final to come as well. Right, into the final 20 minutes or so of our game away against Texas United. We're 2-1 up. Carolina are 3-0 up. So as things stand, we're still going to be 6 points clear of a game to go, which will make us champions. We're also wearing our sexy yellow kits, which will be a very nice kit for us to have the title presentation. It's my favourite of the 3 kits. Can't wait for when the kits go on sale. Buckner's done brilliantly there. I thought that was a big problem approaching, but he handled it very well. And here we go. Sexy kits ahoy, as Bourne finally have won the Central Premier League and make it into Tier 7 of the new US football system. Look at those beautiful kits. I mean, this league, we're never going to have another league that's this difficult to get out of, I don't think. Only 1 automatic promotion spot and then 1 playoff winners spot across 4 leagues. So 4 leagues, only having 5 promotion spots. It was always going to be a little bit of a bottleneck in the system, but we have made it through the bottleneck, and it's just 7. There's no regional leagues from here on in, so it's just 7 leagues all the way up to what was the MLS and is now the American Premier League. So we're into National League 2 for next season, and fingers crossed that'll be a little bit easier to get out of, although obviously the quality of play is going to be that bit harder and all that kind of stuff. But let's see if we get any budgets or anything through now. Let's see if we've been given some boosted pennies for next season. We could, it's just, I mean, we're already over that budget. Oh, so it's not going to be any easier. It's not going to be any easier to get out of. Oh my word, that's devastating. This is what I was saying, though, the US National League Division 2, I mean, top 8 are either automatically promoted or into playoffs, but then the bottom 5 get relegated. One way or the other, that league's going to be a lot easier to get out of. Who went up last season from our league? I forget who won. Do I recognise any of these? Baltimore? I think it was Baltimore, wasn't it? So Baltimore were last year's winners. The year before, it was Charlotte Academy, who are now already promoted from the division above as well. So we know how good Charlotte Academy were. They're just charging up through the leagues. Baltimore might be a more realistic expectation of where we would find ourselves next year. Somewhere in this nothing to play for void. That would be perfect. But now we've got 1 more league game to play this season, and then it's cup final time as we try and make it a double. Well, after what has felt like forever, we've made it through to the FA Vars final. It's the 4th of June. It's been like a month since I last spoke to you. I was clean shaven when I recorded the last piece of this video, but we have made it through to the FA Vars final, which is being played at... Do we know where it's being played? I feel like we've looked this up previously. It's being played at the AT&T Stadium, which is in Dallas and has a 105,000 capacity. That is an absurdly large ground. One moment, we need to check out the AT&T Stadium. So this ridiculous structure is the AT&T Stadium. I assume there's been a WrestleMania there. That is mad. It looks like, it's a bit like the ground itself, nothing like, but the surrounding area of nothingness. It's a little bit like Milton Keynes' ground. But yeah, this is... Can you imagine? There's going to be about 5 people in here. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4 tier stadium. It's bigger than Wembley. That's a whole lot of stadium. See if we can sell it. Oh, we're not going to be able to sell it out. So, in what is undoubtedly going to be the biggest game of any of these players' careers on the biggest stage, it's Buckner in goal, a back four of Nice, Sullivan, Brook and Cullen. Booth and Briones in midfield, Williams and Huyan out wide, Stone and Jorge Hernandez up front. Goncalves very unfortunate to miss out through suspension, just through an accumulation of yellow cards. There was no red card leading to that, just an accumulation of yellows. Probably should have rested him for the final game of the season because it meant nothing. Oh, there! I mean, we know it's much bigger than that in reality because we've just had a little look at it. But that is still, there's a lot of ground there. Are there any Bourne fans in it at all? There they are! There we are, we're up here. Why are we all at the top tier? What are you doing? You've never been that high, have you? They've never been that far up. Look at all these stairs. That is a legit Massachusetts accent you've heard there. Oh, look at all these stairs. We're so high up. This is lovely. Well, here we go then. Bourne versus San Francisco. Can we make it an historic double? Hernandez is in, forces the save out of the San Francisco goalkeeper. We've got fancy moving advertising boards and everything. We don't get any of this normally in this save. This is all very new. I'm very excited about the whole thing. There's nobody here. Why on earth would this game be played at this ground? It's so silly. Williams playing it forward to Hernandez. Hernandez runs clear of the guy who's trying to track him and finds Huyan. Briones is there, and Diego Briones has scored in front of 105,000 empty seats and a few people, and it must sound so echoey in here. Goal goes in. That's all you hear. Oh, it's thunderous. Goodness me. 1-0 up though after 8 minutes. Beautiful stuff. Long may it continue. Let's grab a couple more. And I mean, this is going to be the last year we play in this competition. This is only for tiers 8, 9 and 10. So we've had a few opportunities to win this. This is the first time we've ever gone deep in it. And hopefully going to be the last time we ever play in it, as long as we don't come back down again. So let's hope we can win it on the way through. It's always nice when you're doing a Road to Glory to win all these weird little trophies on the way towards heading to the big time. It starts to fill the trophy cabinet up a little bit. Otherwise, it does end up looking very bare by the time you hit the top tier and you're 10 or 15 years into the save and all you've ever won is the 3rd division playoffs. Stone playing it back to Cullen. A lot of these players could potentially be in their final games for the club today as well, because unless you're Jorge Hernandez or Stephen Stone or Huyan, they're probably the 3. Everyone else in this team, or Jeff Brook, okay, there's 4. Sullivan makes 5. There's 5, probably Buckner. There's 6 of them who I'd want to keep around. Everyone else, though, I'm open to offers. Their contracts are running out. I'm likely to let them go and look to bring in better alternatives as we try and enter Tier 7, the National League 2, with a splash. But it's 2-0. Hernandez just needs a couple more goals, and that gets him to 50 for the season. Do you reckon he can do it? Of course he can do it. Is he going to do it, though? That's the question. He's got an opportunity to add one of them here. It's Hernandez on the edge of the area. Of course he does. There's number 49, Jorge Hernandez. He's looking for an FA Vars final hat-trick here. It's 3-0 on 42 minutes. It's pretty much all wrapped up. This lot have travelled in from San Francisco, and there seems to be quite a lot of them. They may as well start walking home, because they're done. They want to beat the traffic. I hear traffic getting out of the AT&T Stadium could be a nightmare after a big game like this. So they want to go and beat that traffic. Imagine we've been given a car park each. Never mind a parking space. Each car gets its own individual car park. I wonder if we had one of those. What are they called? Where you have a barbecue before a big Nuffle game. I can't remember what they're called. It's some American thing. Do you reckon we did one of them? Probably. Car park barbecue. In the UK, it'd just be referred to as hooliganism and littering, but in America, it's cool, apparently. So could we go and do something like that? Go and barbecue some sausages and whatnot. And do they eat normal sausages in America? Or do they only have hot dogs and the flat ones you get from McDonald's? Can you just get like a Lincolnshire sausage? A little bit of mustard. Eat that now. That'd be lovely. It doesn't help that I'm recording this on Saturday afternoon and I can smell barbecue in the distance. They're probably having proper sausages. Maybe I can smell the barbecue coming all the way over from the car park C at the AT&T Stadium. Right, 3-1 up at halftime. Hernandez is still in search of goal number 50 for the season. It'll be very interesting to see if he can make the step up next year. Or whether he ends up being just a tier 8 player. Hernandez is in looking for the number 50, but it ends up going straight at the goalkeeper. There are more ball boys in that shot than there are members of the audience, which is glorious. Huyan, trying to skip past his man, he can't, but Hernandez trying to play it in again for him, and it's actually quite fortuitously ended up back with Huyan, who finds Hernandez. There's his hat-trick. There's goal number 50. We're going to get a double cartwheel day, boys and girls, because we're going to have another trophy in a second. There's a lot of luck involved in this goal, but it does appear that San Francisco are really not a very good football team, and I think kind of does underline the fact that we probably should have been done with this level a season or two back, and it was just frustrating circumstance and a tiny squad that kept us stuck in Tier 8 for 8 years. 8 years? 3 years. But we have made it out now, and clearly we're too good for this level, which is lovely. Fava can come on. I'm also going to bring on Jackson Hernandez. And you know what? Flores gets to come on as well, because everyone who's been involved in the season deserves to have a little bit of a run out on this pitch. They might never play in this stadium again. It's probably unlikely that we ever will, or they ever will. I imagine at some point we will. I assume this is like the national stadium. It probably isn't referred to that in America, but if it's the biggest ground, which it might be, is this the biggest ground? I guess this is where the big finals will be held all the way through, which is all rather splendid. But none of these players will ever play in another big final for us unless there's another mini cup, like a Johnson's Paint Trophy equivalent, which I haven't looked at the database. There might well be. I know we've got the Lamar Hunt Open, which is your FA Cup equivalent. There might be another trophy that comes in next year to replace the FA Vars that we're no longer going to be a part of. So we might get another opportunity for one or two of them to come back. But I just want them to soak in the atmosphere of being around all these empty seats. It's lovely. Huyan to Flores. Jackson Hernandez now playing it back to Flores. Flores playing it over to Fava, but doesn't get anywhere near him. There's 3.5 minutes to be added on to this game. We've got a 2-goal advantage. I don't think we're going to mess it up from here, but it is San Francisco. We've got the ball. My demeanor will change massively if we concede another goal here. Huyan is rushing forward, playing it over to Fava on that left-hand side, who's been a little bit of a disappointment this year. I expected more from him. It would have been nice for that to go to the other of the Hernandez and give Jackson Hernandez the opportunity to grab a goal on the big stage, but it was not to be. It went to Jorge, and he messed it up. Briones playing it forward to Jorge Hernandez. Square it to Jackson. He does! The Hernandez brothers, the fabulous Hernandez brothers, have combined once again. It's Jackson's 10th goal of the season. It's 5-2. Jackson Hernandez gets a goal in the final as well, and that feels right. He's kind of potentially finished off his Bourne career with a goal in a final at a big stadium, because, I don't know, Jackson Hernandez hasn't been able to get in the team this year. Are we really taking him up a division with us when he's out of contract just to sit on our bench a bit more? Fava's got one as well. Jackson Hernandez is probably going to be on his way this summer unless we keep him in on a non-contract, which I don't even know if you're able to do in the National League. These are all things we're going to find out in tomorrow's transfer special when we check the rules of the new level. But it's 6-2 now with this goal from Fava, and Jorge Hernandez is just too good for us. I wonder if we get to keep him. I guess that's the reason Jackson stays. If Jorge goes, we shall have to see. But here we are, second trophy presentation of the episode. It's Jeff Brook stepping up once again to lift a trophy, and Bourne are the winners of the USA FA Vars. Look at the crowd going wild. Bless them, the San Francisco fans haven't gone home, look. They've all stuck around. Their flight's not for another 4 hours. They've got nowhere to go. We saw the outside of the ground before this. It's either this or head back outside to stand in the car park waiting for their shuttle bus to the airport. But we have won the double. Here's a cartwheel from Buckner. Beautiful stuff. And do we get a load of money? Oh, it'd be lovely if you get like £500,000 for winning this. I suspect you probably don't. But money? Is there any 30? I tell you what, 30 grand is not too bad. And there's a whole bunch of people who worship me, which is also pretty sweet. That's the closest our bank balance has been to zero since we were in administration 3 years ago. And I think we will refer to that, all in all, as a successful experience. Look, we're following in Charlotte's footsteps. 2 years ago, they won that on their way out of this division. And now they're up in, tier 5, following their promotion now. They're going to be hitting their own ceiling soon because they can't go any further than their parent club. and it'll serve them right. We'll catch up with them at some point, and the season review is coming up tomorrow with transfers. So if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.